When most people picture the Indian state of Gujarat, they imagine expansive, arid plains. But travel far enough south, and the ground suddenly throws you a vertical curveball, a massive 1,000-meter climb straight into the mist-covered Sahyadri mountain range. Locals call this high-altitude pocket Saputara. Translated directly, the name means the abode of serpents. According to regional mythology, when the deity Lord Rama was cast into an 11-year exile, he sought refuge deep within these specific, impenetrable woods. Looking at the Saptashrangi peak, you can see why. The terrain naturally forms a sheer, steep-faced fortress, effectively sealing off anyone or anything living inside. For centuries, that extreme geological isolation kept Saputara off the map, allowing it to function as a protected sanctuary for ancient mythology and indigenous life. Today, the dense forest has accommodated a fully planned, highly accessible hill station, the only one of its kind in the entire state. Paved roads now bring a constant influx of tourists right to the doorstep of the original indigenous inhabitants. How does a once impenetrable sanctuary absorb thousands of visitors every weekend while maintaining the demographic and physical dominance of its original communities? This chart shows the demographic breakdown of the Dang district. Despite rapid outside development, the indigenous tribal population holds a 90% majority. That 90% is composed of 4 specific groups: the Kunbis, the Gamets, the Beals, and the Warlis. Long before developers carved out the first scenic overlooks, these groups were thriving directly on this rugged, uneven terrain. To understand how they lived, you can visit the Saputara Tribal Museum. The Warli people specifically document their agricultural and communal history through a distinct style of white pigmented painting, but you don't have to visit a museum to see it. This art is actively applied to the interior mud walls of occupied modern-day dwellings. During the annual Dong Darbar festival, that history becomes a highly physical performance. Dancers form intricate, coordinated human chains, moving in traditional, vibrant headgear. Saputara's indigenous culture survives because it is practiced daily, out in the open, rather than being preserved strictly as an artifact. That culture is heavily shielded by the intense ecological systems surrounding the town. Just 3 kilometers away is the Gira waterfall. The Kapari tributary forces a massive volume of water down a 75-foot drop into the Ambika River. The surrounding Vansta National Park and Purna Wildlife Sanctuary combine to form the thickest, most impenetrable forest canopy in all of Gujarat. Those dense biological borders are actively patrolled by apex predators, including a heavily concentrated population of leopards. The untamed ferocity of this ecosystem naturally restricts urban expansion. It acts as a physical, biological fortress that ensures the indigenous communities have the space they need to operate. Within the town itself, modernization is most visible in the commercial streets, where vendors cook heavily spiced snacks in large vats. The local palate is defined by rapid, sensory-heavy street food. Vendors serve up butta, a smoky, spice-rubbed roasted corn, alongside deep-fried, gram-flour fritters called bhajia. The iconic pani puri requires a complex assembly, hollow, crispy shells filled with a precise ratio of spicy water, tamarind, potatoes, and chickpeas. For a distinctly regional texture, there is dokla, a spongy, steamed cake that relies on a specific local fermentation technique. This concentrated food scene serves as the first layer of contact for most visitors. It turns the local palate into a commercial engine, integrating traditional preparation into the town's modern infrastructure. To see the complete picture of this region's agricultural output, look at the radial symmetry of the traditional Gujarati thali. It is a highly engineered platter. You have the hearty, slow-cooked root vegetables of the undiyu, the precisely spiced tepla flatbreads, and delicate rolled kanvi. The meal finishes with heavy, dairy-rich sweets, often infused with saffron, like shrikand and the slow-simmered basundi. Saputara remains a geographical anomaly. It is a modern destination built on a landscape of ancient myths, a high-density biological fortress, and a culinary tradition that has outlasted the isolation that once protected it.